motherfucker.
The Jell-O Program, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston and Phil Harris and his orchestra.
Thank you. This is Groucho Marx. Well, here I am, stepping in over my head again.
With Fibber McGee and Molly.
Folks, this is just as new to me as it is to you.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny, this is Rochester.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Well, what an original greeting.
Hello and welcome to another week of comedy, funny, haha, on Dwayne Old Time Radio. One thing, please subscribe to my channel. If you enjoy what I'm doing, subscribing is 100% free. Also, one more thing, if you have a few seconds or 1 minute, please leave a review on your preferred podcast service, especially if you're on Apple, Spotify, or really just your preferred podcast service. Thank you and hope you enjoy. We're bringing back The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. They return. 2 episodes from Mr. and Mrs. Harriet. Or Mr. and Mrs. Harriet. 2 episodes from Mr. Ozzie and Mrs. Harriet. Oh my gosh. The first is Ozzie and Harriet. I'm guessing that was the title. That's what I have here listed. So anyway, their 39th episode, August 26, 1945. And then their 40th episode, The Dripping Faucet, September 2nd, 1945.
America's finest silver plate is 1847 Rogers Brothers. From Hollywood, International Silver Company, creators of 1847 Rogers Brothers Silver Plate, presents The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring young America's favorite couple, Ozzie Nelson and Harriet Hilliard. Again, let us visit the Nelsons at 1847 Rogers Road. As we join Ozzie and Harriet, they've just finished breakfast. Ozzie is reading the morning paper.
What you reading, dear? The funny page?
Now, why do you say that? Does it ever occur to you that I might be reading the editorial page or the financial page?
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. What are you reading?
The funny page. You know something? They must have used a lot of care the way they place these comic strips.
What do you mean?
But now, just look at little Abner and Dick Tracy. Who else besides Breathless Mahoney could exist next to the little stinker?
Oh, that episode's been finished for weeks. You must have an old paper there.
I don't think so. Oh, by golly, you're right. Oh, sure, I remember reading this article here. Incidentally, it's very unusual.
Oh, really? What's it about?
It's about a dog by the name of Dice Game. She had 8 puppies.
Well, what's so unusual about that?
She did it the hard way, 2 4s.
Oh, Ozzie, that's silly. Morning, Mother. Morning, Dad. Good morning, David.
Hello, son.
Did you sleep well last night?
Like a log.
Just fine. How was breakfast?
Well?
Coffee was wonderful. And how are you feeling? Fine, dear.
Great.
Then I'd like to ask you for a raise in my allowance. Okay? Gee, thanks.
No. Not right so fast. Tell me, how much are you getting now?
50 cents a week, Dad.
And how much do you want?
75 cents a week.
Oh, I'm sorry, David. It's absolutely out of the question.
Why, Dad?
Well, just think, David, how would it look if you were getting a bigger allowance than me?
Say, why all this sudden need for money anyway, David? Well, I got expenses, like going down to the store and getting sodas.
Oh, I see. And you usually take that little girl down the block, don't you? Sally Kinney?
Yes, I do.
And do you pay for her sodas?
Oh, no, we're not that serious.
Well, I still think that 50 cents is plenty for an 8-year-old boy.
David, Daddy's just trying to tell you that you should learn the value of money. Well, that's just it, Mom. You want me to be thrifty and save my money, don't you? Yes. Well, I spend it all now, but if I got an extra quarter, then I'd have something to save. How about it? Well, I don't know. It's up to your father. What do you say, Pop?
Well, David, when I was your age...
Oh, Pop, not one of those stories. Now, David, if you want to get a raise, you've got to listen to your father's story.
Oh, well, it's not compulsory, you know, Harriet.
Oh, Ozzie, don't be so sensitive. Well, then tell me all about when you were my age, Pop.
Well, I'm out of the mood. But I do think you're old enough to earn part of your spending money. Now, when I was your age...
He's back in the mood again.
Now, Harriet, please.
I'll tell you, David, I know what he did when he was your age as well as he does. When your father was your age, he cut the grass every Saturday. The lawn was 150 feet deep and 75 feet wide.
78
feet wide. And full of the roughest, toughest, hardest-to-cut grass in the state.
And a lot of little stones that always caught in the lawnmower.
Who's telling this story, dear?
Oh, excuse me. Go ahead.
But all he got for cutting all that grass was 10 cents. And sometimes he had a hard time collecting it, too.
I'll tell you what I'll do, David. Our lawn is much smaller, but I'll give you 25 cents to cut it.
So thanks, Pop.
Well, suppose I make it 35 cents.
The lawn next door is smaller than ours, but they offered me 50 cents to cut it.
What are they trying to do, ruin the child labor market?
David, your father used to go from door to door selling magazines, soap, perfume, hair tonics, snake oil, rheumatism remedies.
No, I didn't. The snake oil, but not the rheumatism remedies.
Well, at any rate, David, you can see that your father was very industrious at your age.
And that's the way I think you ought to be, David. Go out and use your head. Sell something. Sell anything. It's very good training for you.
Then I guess I don't get the raise, huh?
Well, David, I feel you ought to earn the money for yourself somehow. It's for your own good.
Okay, but I wish you wouldn't think about my own good so much. See you later.
You know he's a good little guy, isn't he?
He sure is. Would you like another cup of coffee, Ozzie?
Yes, I would if you don't mind.
I don't mind, but does Gloria mind? Gloria? Oh, Gloria? Did you call me, Mrs. Nelson? Gloria, we'd like some more coffee. It's very good. Yes, it certainly was.
Wasn't there any more, Gloria?
No, Mr. Nelson. There was just enough for the three of us. A cup for you and a cup for Mrs. Nelson and 5 cups for me.
Well, that's life, I suppose.
Didn't I just hear you talking to David?
Yes, he just went out. I was having a little talk with him about money.
Did you get any from him, Mr. Nelson? Mr. Nelson was merely trying to explain the value of money to David. We probably should have explained to him how to budget his allowance. You keep a budget, don't you, Gloria? Oh, of course I keep a budget. I've been keeping a budget for 10 years. Every time I spend any money, I put it right down in one column. And every time I make any money, I put it right down in the other column. Well, that's very wise, Gloria. Oh, yes. You know something, Mrs. Nelson. What? Someday I'm going to add it all up. How is it you learned to be so thrifty, Gloria? Well, I had to support myself from a very early age. You see, my father drank all the time. He was always stinking from drinking.
Oh, that's too bad.
But then one day my mother gave him the cure. Oh, she gave him the cure, huh? Was it permanent? Oh, it was permanent, all right. She used a shotgun.
Well, that sounds permanent enough.
Well, I better clear these dishes away. My boyfriend Elmer's coming over in a little while.
Say, I haven't seen Elmer around lately. What's he been doing?
The same old thing. Loafing. But last week you told me he had a job. Oh, he did. But it only lasted one day. He worked in the ladies' department store as a window decorator.
Well, why did he quit?
He found out those women in the windows weren't real. Well, I'll see you later.
Oh, here's the order from the grocery store.
I'll take it, mister. Gee, look, you got a big hole in your coat.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just tore it. And I got a date with my girl in half an hour. I'm really in a spot.
Say, I've got an idea. Would you want another coat?
Well, you ain't exactly my size, Junior.
No, I mean one of my father's. He's got some old ones that are in very good shape. I could sell you one.
Ah, that's a great idea. Hey, look, see if you can find a blue one with a red stripe to go with these green pants.
I'll find you a good one, all right. But, of course, I'll have to charge you a lot of money for it. As much as $1.
Well, I'm a sport. Go get it. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Are you sure this is okay with your old man?
Oh, yes. He told me I was supposed to do this. He said, sell something and make some money. Wait here, I'll get the coat for you.
Are you glad to see me, Lana?
Sure I am, Joe. And you look so wonderful, too. Say, that's a nice coat you got on.
Oh, it's just a little something I had made.
Well, maybe you better take it off, Joe. It's kind of warm in here.
Yeah. Especially when I'm sitting next to you, Lana. Okay, I'll take it off. Now, let me put my arms around you, honey.
Now, Joe. Oh, my goodness. That must be Heyman outside the door. Quick, Joe, down the fire escape. Heyman is 6 feet tall.
I'll hide in the closet.
No, down the fire escape.
Why can't I hide in the closet?
Well, okay, but the guy in there is even bigger.
Well, you talked me into it, Lana. It's down the fire escape for me.
Coming, Heyman, just a minute.
Where is he?
Now, take it easy, Heyman. There's nobody here.
Don't give me that. I hate a guy talking in here.
Oh, that was just an announcer on the radio. Oh, you're so cute. Come on, sit down, Heyman. Relax. Let me fluff up your muscles.
Okay, Lana, I'm sorry. I guess I... wait a minute. Whose coat is that?
What coat?
That one right there with the tweed button. So you was two-timing me, huh?
Calm down.
Oh,
Heyman.
yeah? Well, Oh, look, here's the guy's name, right here by the inside pocket. Ozzie Nelson, huh?
Oh, no.
Ozzie Nelson. 1847 Rogers Road.
No, Heyman, you're making a mistake.
Oh, yeah? Ozzie Nelson. I'll break that rat's neck.
It's time for those lovely singing stars, the famous King Sisters.
Someday he'll come along, the man I love. He'll be big and strong, man I love. And when he comes my way, I'll do my best to make him stay. He'll look at me and smile, I'd understand. And in a little while, he'll take my hand. And though it seems absurd, I know we both won't say a word. Maybe I will meet him someday. Maybe Monday, maybe not. Still, I'm sure to meet him someday. Maybe today will be my good news day. We'll build a little home just for two, from which I'll never roam. Who would you? And so all else above, I'm waiting for the man I love. Maybe I will meet him someday. Maybe Monday. Maybe not. But I
King Sisters doing their bit for romance. And now the orchestra changes to the traditional romantic theme.
I pronounce you man and wife. I pronounce you man and wife. I pronounce you man and wife.
Yes, it's wonderful, friends, wonderful. Every GI and his girl getting married. Every GI and his girl going home at last. To the home they planned and dreamed about, these many years. A home tastefully furnished with things they can be proud of for many, many years. Things like the silver plate of 1847 Rogers Brothers. There is silver plate that brings you beauty, imaginative design, lasting pleasure and satisfaction. In fact, everything about 1847 silver plate is so unusual and so fine that once you've seen it, you just can't be satisfied with any other silver plate. And it won't be long before your silverware dealer has it in stock for you. So wait for that day. Don't choose any silver plate for your new home until you've seen the finest 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate. And now back to Ozzie and Harriet. Well, it certainly looks as though little David Nelson started something when he sold his father's coat to the delivery man. Poor Ozzie. Little does he know that his coat with his name in it has been discovered in glamorous Lana Shanahan's apartment by none other than Herman, Lana's jealous boyfriend. Poor Ozzie. Oh, well. Meanwhile, blissfully ignorant of his unfortunate predicament, our hero is casually strolling down the street.
Goodbye, little yellow bird.
Mr. Nelson.
Oh, hello, Emmy Lou. Hey, what's wrong? You look as though you just lost your best Woody Herman record.
Oh, I'm very unhappy, Mr. Nelson. I've got such a terrible problem, and I don't know what to do. I'm so terribly inexperienced. I need advice from someone like you.
Someone like me?
Mm-hmm. I'm so very young, and you're so very old.
Well, thanks, but what's the trouble, Emmy Lou?
Well, it's about my boyfriend, Larry. He was at the movies with another girl last night, and it seems so hard to believe what he told me. Mr. Nelson, do you think that men tell the truth?
Well, they're about as truthful as women.
Oh, the nasty fibbers. I had such faith in Larry, too. He wanted to take me to the movies last night, and I explained to him what an awful headache I had and how desperately ill I felt. I never dreamed he'd go to the movies with someone else.
Well, are you sure he was there, Emmy Lou?
Oh, positive. Coming back from the Palladium, Charlie and I saw him. You just can't trust men.
It certainly looks that way.
Men. You know, sometimes I get so mad.
That you wish there were no men?
Oh, no, I never get that mad.
Well, I guess the best thing for you to do is try and win Larry back.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. I've just been downtown shopping, and I bought some wonderful perfume. They had 4 different kinds to choose from.
Oh, what were they called?
Come hither, come nearer, come closer.
And the last one?
Where do we go from here?
Emmy Lou, I'm positive that you bought some of that. Where do we go from here?
You're right, Mr. Nelson. Here, do you want to smell it?
Okay, I'll take a little sniff. Oh, my gosh. That's some perfume.
Well, that was nothing, Mr. Nelson. Wait till you take the cork out.
Is that the stuff you're going to try to win Larry back with?
Mm-hmm. Do you think this perfume will make Larry notice me?
Even if you leave the city. Yeah, I mean, Lou, you better take this stuff back before it overwhelms me.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Nelson. It spilled all over you.
Oh, that's all right, Emmy Lou. Nothing to worry about. It'll dry up.
But what will Mrs. Nelson think if you come home with all that perfume? Won't she think that...
Oh, no, of course not. Don't give it another thought. Mrs. Nelson trusts me implicitly. Don't worry about it, Emmy. And good luck with Larry.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
in?
No, I'm sorry. He's not in right now.
That's too bad. I wanted to strangle him.
Well, he should be back in about... What?
You heard me, lady. I'm here to get that skunk.
Why? Who are you, the little stinker? Is this a joke or something?
This here ain't no joke. This here Ozzie Nelson has been running around with my girl, see?
My husband running around with your girl?
That's right, sister. And I intend to put a stop to that.
Oh, you must be mistaken. My husband is the most faithful man that breathes.
I intend to put a stop to that, too.
Well, now, look, I'm sure there must be some mistake.
There's no mistake. Your husband is trying to beat my time with Lana Shanahan, the most beautiful dame in the world.
Oh, really? How's he making out?
Listen, 3/4 of an hour ago, he was sitting on her Davenport pitching wool at her. Oh, I feel sorry for you, Mrs. Nelson.
What for? I think it's all sort of funny.
Oh, your husband's a goner now. Once the man meets Lana Shanahan, he's never the same.
Oh. You mean he'll throw rocks at me when he comes home? Oh, look, I'm sorry, but I just know you're mistaken. My husband is a very nice person, and I trust him absolutely and completely.
Well, no guy can steal my girl and get away with it.
But I tell you, it couldn't have been Ozzie. Believe me, you're just making a wolf out of a cocker spaniel.
Lady, I ain't just guessing. I got proof. Here, take a look at this coat here. Does this coat look familiar to you?
Well, yes, it does.
It's your husband's, ain't it?
Yes, it's Ozzie's coat, all right. I'd recognize his shoulders anywhere.
Well, I found this coat up in my girl's apartment.
Oh, look, this whole thing is ridiculous. I don't care how many of these coats you found there.
I got plenty more evidence, sister. The guy at my girl's place had kind of a low voice.
Well, it might be Ozzie.
He had a sort of a silly giggle.
Well, it might be Ozzie.
And he was making passionate love to her.
You got the wrong guy.
Lady, there ain't no use trying to protect your husband. As soon as he pokes his nose in that door, I'm gonna beat him to a pulp.
Well, I'm just warning you, my husband knows jiu-jitsu.
No politician's gonna help him out of this.
But will you at least give Ozzie a chance to explain when he comes in?
I ain't giving him nothing. When he walks in that door, I'm gonna...
Oh, hello, dear. I see you have company.
I'll say you got company. And I ain't leaving here till I crush the life out of a Satan rat.
Oh, the man from the exterminators.
Well, not exactly, dear. This man came here to exterminate you. He claims that you've been romancing his girlfriend and you were with her this afternoon.
Why, that's silly, Harriet. Surely you don't believe him.
Oh, of course not. But he
Wait
says
a minute. Where was you this afternoon, chum?
Well, I was just out walking.
There, you see, he was out walking. Say, let me smell you a minute, Ozzie. What were you out walking with, a halibut?
Just as I thought. Lana Shanahan's pipe.
No, just a second. That's not Lana's perfume. That's some other girl's perfume.
Little man, you've had a busy day.
No. That's not what I meant at all. I can explain everything if you just give me a chance.
Okay, I'll give you a chance. Is this your coat?
Yeah, sure, that's my coat.
Well, explain this. What was it doing in my girlfriend Lana's apartment?
I'm sure I don't know, and I don't know your girlfriend Lana.
A likely story. I should have punched you when you first walked in. Why,
Just a minute. Whom do you think you're pushing around?
Home. You. That's home.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so. I got a good mind to punch you right in the nose.
You do, and I'll bleed all over you.
Oh, now, look, why don't you two be sensible? Listen, mister, I have an idea. Suppose I assure you that it'll never happen again. That you have my word that my husband will never again bother your girlfriend, Lana. Would that satisfy you?
Wow.
Well, suppose I promise to put a collar and leash on him and never let him out of the house without me.
A collar and leash, huh? Yeah, that's good. Okay, lady, I'll settle for that. So long, folks. I'll be getting back to Lennon now.
Oh, gee, honey, that was a clever way to get rid of him. Saying you were going to put a collar and a leash on me. You know, dear, I'm never going to... Yes, dear.
What size neck have you got?
Now, Harriet, you can't really believe that silly story about that fellow's girlfriend.
Well, what do you expect me to believe? Having all that perfume on you and not knowing how your coat got into her apartment?
If you'll just let me explain, the perfume was spilled on me accidentally by Emmy Lou. As for the coat, I can't possibly imagine how it got there.
Hello, Mother. Hi, Dad. Hello, son.
Hello, Lana.
Hey, where'd you get that lollipop? It's the size of a small manhole cover. It cost me 50 cents, Mom. I earned some extra spending money like Pop told me.
Well, that's fine, son. I'm proud of you. How did you make the money?
Well, it was a cinch. I sold an old coat of yours to the delivery man.
Hey, tell me, David, was this coat here on the chair the one you sold?
Gee, that's the one, all right. How'd it get back here? Didn't the fellow like it?
No, he liked it all right. I'll tell you about it later, David. Right now, there's something I want to discuss with your mother.
Oh, now, Ozzie, you don't think I really believed a word of what that man said? You know me well enough for that.
Harriet.
Yes, dear?
What size neck have you got?
The end of the war means many things to the silversmiths of 1847 Rogers Brothers. But it means one thing in particular. It means that they have already returned to the job they love. The creation of 1847 Rogers Brothers, America's finest silver plate. In the bitter, frightful years of war, their fine craftsmanship was devoted to turning out fighting equipment and life-saving equipment for our armed forces. But they're now back at their old tasks, creating silver plate that's the last word in loveliness. Silver plate that can't fail to give you a sense of complete enjoyment. So, friends, if you're planning to get silver plate, my advice is to wait until 1847 Rogers Brothers is again at your silverware dealers. That day is not far off. Sooner than you think, you'll be able to go in and ask to see 1847's unique patterns. The pattern Adoration, for example, which was such a pre-war favorite. Adoration has the high raised ornamentation and deep etching so like solid silver. It has the streamlined contours, the delicate chasing, and the exquisite finish that make it truly a prize in silver plate. A prize it will pay you to wait for. So remember the pattern name, Adoration. The creator, 1847 Rogers Brothers.
See, Harriet, you are convicting me on purely circumstantial evidence.
All right. I forgive you, dear. Answer the door, please.
Okay. You forgive me. I should be forgiving you.
I knew you'd be sensible. Thank you, dear.
Yes?
Are you Ozzie Nelson?
Yes.
You are, huh? Are these yours?
Holy smokes, my pants. Where'd you... Harriet.
Yes, dear?
I think we'll just have to give David a raise in his allowance.
Creators of 1847 Rogers Brothers Silver Plate invite you to listen again next Sunday to the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet with songs by the King Sisters and music by Ozzie Nelson's orchestra. And don't forget, America's finest silver plate is 1847 Rogers Brothers. This program originates in the Hollywood studios of the Columbia Broadcasting System and is also broadcast over the Trans-Canada Network of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. This adventure of Ozzie and Harriet will be transmitted to our men and women overseas by shortwave and through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service.
America's finest silver plate is 1847 Rogers Brothers. From Hollywood, International Silver Company, creators of 1847 Rogers Brothers Silver Plate, presents The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring young America's favorite couple, Ozzie Nelson and Harriet Hilliard. Well, let's look in and see what the Nelsons of 1847 Rogers Road are doing. It's quite late at night, So late, I can't even see what time it is. Oh, thank you. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. And all we can hear are the customary sounds of night. The grandfather's clock in the hall, a couple of crickets chirping on the lawn, the distant screams of the pedestrians on Sunset Boulevard. We tiptoe up the carpeted stairs and peek into the bedroom. Aren't we devils? The stillness there is interrupted only by the gentle ticking of the clock. Oh, wait a minute. I think I hear Harriet's voice.
And I think I really should get that hat because I haven't had a thing to wear with my navy blue outfit except that old hat I bought last year. And besides, that really doesn't go with my navy blue anyhow.
Ozzie replies,
He sure falls asleep fast. Well, I may as well go to sleep myself. Oh, goodness, the faucet in the bathroom's dripping. I'll never fall asleep now. Ozzie. Ozzie, dear, wake up.
Good night, dear.
Ozzie, there's a drip in the bathroom. I say there's a drip in the bathroom.
Doesn't he know this is a private home?
Oh, please, dear. It's the faucet in the bathroom. Would you get up and shut it off? It'll keep us awake all night.
I don't hear a thing. Good night, dear.
Oh, honey, I'm sure the faucet is dripping. Aren't you going to get up and turn it off?
Well, let's wait until the next time you hear burglars, and then I can get up for both of them at the same time.
Ozzie, it may flood the bathroom. We could both be drowned in our sleep.
Okay. Go to the closet, and on the top shelf there's a box. Get it.
What's in it?
Water wings.
Very funny, very funny. You mean you're not going to turn off the faucet?
Well, darling, it isn't bothering me. Why should I bother it? Live and let live, I always say.
Oh, you dog.
And let sleeping dogs lie.
You mean to say you can sleep with that going on?
I told you I don't hear any dripping.
Oh, for goodness sakes, listen.
I don't hear a thing.
There, did you hear that?
I don't hear a thing. It must be your imagination. I didn't hear that one either.
Ozzie, Nelson, you know you hear it just as well as I do.
Okay, the faucet is dripping a little. So what? I'm tired.
Oh. So you won't do a little thing like shutting off the faucet for me. The day of chivalry is certainly dead. In those days, a man had never let his wife do any menial work.
Listen, if these were the days of chivalry, I'd probably be a knight, wouldn't I? And I'd have to go out and fight dragons and things, wouldn't I?
Well, I suppose so.
Well, if I'm out fighting dragons, wouldn't you have to get up and shut off the faucet?
Oh, that's not one bit funny. I'm not kidding. This is going a little too far. You don't love me anymore.
Oh, darling, where's your sense of humor? Of course I love you, and you know it. I love you more than anything in the whole wide world. I think you're the most wonderful wife a man ever had. Now go and shut off the water.
I will not. The floor is cold, and you know it.
Well, it's cold on my little piggy-wiggies, too, you know. I tell you what I'll do. I'll show you that chivalry isn't dead. I'll be a gentleman about it. I'll play you gin rummy. Loser goes.
Gin rummy? Oh, we haven't got any cards.
I'll get the cards. Where's the light? Oh, there. The cards here in the dresser, Harriet?
I think they're in the hall table.
Oh. They're not here, Harriet.
Try the medicine cabinet in the bathroom.
Funny place for cards in the bathroom.
And while you're there, turn off the faucet.
Oh. Okay, there. Harriet, I can't find the cards here.
Never mind the cards.
Never mind, but how are we going to decide who... I've been tricked, and by my own wife, too.
Well, anyway, dear, the faucet is shut off.
I might as well admit it was beginning to bother me, too. Boy, I'm sleepy. Oh, this bed feels good.
Thank you very much, dear.
No, nothing at all.
I'm sorry I tricked you, Ozzie.
Oh, that's all right.
Now we can sleep.
Oh, good hours.
Good night, dear.
Good night. Oh, for the love of Mike.
Obstinate little gadget, isn't it?
Wait a minute, I got an idea.
Where are you going? What are you going to do?
I'll be right back. There, that did it.
What'd you do?
Honey, I must admit that I fixed that leak with a simple little device that the average husband wouldn't have thought of.
What'd you do? Leave a finger there?
No. It's a very simple psychological matter. Since I couldn't stop the drip, I merely turned the water on a little hotter. And since a steady stream of water makes little or no noise, presto, I have eliminated the disturbing elements.
Oh, Ozzie, you're wonderful.
And if you should hear the gentle flowing of the water, just imagine you're out camping by a mountain stream, and you'll fall right off to sleep.
Darling, sometimes I think you're an absolute genius.
Oh. Well, maybe you're right at that. Oh, good night, dear. Gosh, it's morning already.
I just woke up, too. It's a lovely day.
Well, might as well hop out of bed and get dressed. Holy smokes, this is the worst early morning fog in history. Well, Harriet, the room is flooded.
Flooded?
Yes, hurry, get dressed. Quick, grab your shoes as they float by.
Oh, something must have happened with that faucet. You better get to the bathroom and see what's wrong.
Oh, I just happened to think of something. Harriet, remember last night when I figured out a way to stop that drip by letting the water run a little faster?
Yes.
Well, even the greatest of scientists on the eve of world-shaking discoveries often overlook matters of less magnitude in their zeal and absorption.
You mean you left the stopper in the sink?
Right.
Well, Mr. Scientist, you'll just have to get busy and clean up this mess before you get any breakfast today.
Okay, it's my own fault, and I'm perfectly willing to take the consequences. But how am I going to get rid of all this water? Shall I get an 1847 Rogers Brothers silver-plated spoon and ladle it up?
Well, you could, dear. But a simpler way would be a pail and 2 mops.
Well, I don't know much about this. What do I do with the mops?
Well, just make believe it's New Year's Eve.
Make believe it's New Year's Eve?
Mm-hmm. Just wring out the old and ring in the new.
What a job that was.
Morning, Pop.
Hello, David.
Ready for breakfast now, dear?
Yep.
All through upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't take you so long after all.
No, just 3.5 hours. I am now an expert on mopping up operations.
Well, here's your breakfast, dear.
I'll just have the toast and the eggs.
Don't you want any orange juice?
Please, no liquids.
Will you excuse me, dear? I want to call a plumber to come over and fix the faucet.
Well, you're not serious, are you?
Well, of course I am.
Well, you don't think I'd be so idiotic as to have a plumber come all the way over here just to fix a leaky faucet?
Well, why not? Last week you called in an electrician just to change an electric light bulb.
Go ahead, make fun of me.
What do you think I'm doing now? No, honestly, honey, you're a very, very, very clever fellow. And I love you dearly, but there's no sense in having the house wash away.
Now, Harriet, stop talking nonsense. House wash away. We have a little flood around here, and everybody gets frightened to death.
Nobody was frightened.
Oh, no? Then who hung those water wings in the bathroom?
Those aren't water wings.
Oh.
Gloria's probably waiting to clear away these dishes. Oh, Gloria! Gloria!
Did you call me, Mrs. Nelson?
Yes, I did, Gloria. We're finished breakfast. Hey, by the way, your room is exactly under ours. Did the water leak through?
Well, the water leaked through, but nothing got wet. You see, I sleep with my mouth open.
You mean you swallowed the water?
Well, I don't know, but come to think of it, this morning when I ate a piece of toast, I could hear it splash. Tell me, Mrs. Nelson, how did the flood start?
Well, Mr. Nelson thought it'd be nice to let the water run and dream we were out camping beside a mountain stream.
Oh, sure. It was all my fault.
I went camping once. Way up on a mountaintop.
Oh, my, that sounds romantic.
Oh, it was romantic. One night I was sitting under the stars, and someone sat down beside me, and he put his arm around me. And we sat there not saying a word, just looking at the stars. And then the moon came up just in time.
Well, what do you mean?
5 minutes more and I'd have been engaged to a grizzly bear.
Oh, it must have been frightening when the moon came up and you were sitting there with a grizzly bear.
It must have been. He ran like everything. Well, I hope the flood in the house didn't do too much damage.
Oh, I don't think so. Nothing really serious.
You should have seen that water dripping down the stairs this morning.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't wake us, Gloria. Try to remember. Always call us any time you see anything unusual in the house.
Well, that's not so unusual.
My goodness, if water dripping down the stairs isn't unusual, what is?
Water dripping up the stairs?
I see what you mean. Well, Gloria, be prepared for anything around here this morning because Mr. Nelson insists he's going to fix the leak himself.
Mrs. Nelson's just jealous because she's not mechanically inclined. Are you mechanically inclined, Gloria?
Oh, yes. I could go for a nice mechanic anytime.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we had to call on your boyfriend Elmer before Mr. Nelson's through.
Oh, but Elmer's no good at fixing things.
Why, didn't you tell me the other day that Elmer was a handyman?
I just meant that he only lives 2 blocks away. He's a handyman. Well, I better clean away these dishes.
And I better go upstairs and fix that leak.
Can I go with you, Pop?
Now, you see that, Harriet? You're afraid I'm going to flood the house, but thank goodness at least my son has confidence in me. Come on along, David.
I'll be right with you, Dad, as soon as I get my sailboat.
Yeah, it's really leaking all right.
Yeah, but are you sure you can fix it?
There's nothing to it, David. You just watch. There isn't anything your old man doesn't know about plumbing. I know this sink like a book. You can assist Daddy in the operation if you like.
Gee, thanks, Dad.
Now we go to work. Wrench.
Wrench.
Pliers.
Pliers.
Screwdriver.
Screwdriver.
Hammer.
Hammer.
Iodine. I think maybe I'd better go with this a little different way. Aha, here we are. This'll take care of the old leak. Now watch, David. I just put the monkey wrench on this pipe, and I twist it to the right. Turning to the right always shuts things off, David.
Are you sure, Dad?
Positive. That's how all pipes are made. Twisting to the right shuts them off. And I hit the monkey wrench with a hammer now to turn it real hard.
Pop, what if that loosens the whole thing up?
It won't, son.
Are you sure, Pop?
I'm as sure of that as I am that tomorrow will be a beautiful day. Well, that's California for you.
Well, as the walrus might have said to the carpenter, now it's my turn to speak to those of you who have been saving for the day when you could go to your silverware dealers, ask for 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate, and get it. That day will be here very soon, too. If you could see the town of Meriden, Connecticut, where the home of 1847 Rogers Brothers is, you'd be sure of that. For in Meriden today, the harsh, urgent clamor of war machinery has given place to the quiet hum of silversmithing. The skilled hands that broke all records turning out fighting weapons are again engaged in the task they love, the creation of America's finest silver plate. Soon the silver plate itself will be at your silverware dealers, as lovely in design, as incomparable in craftsmanship as always. We feel sure you'll want to wait that short while, that before you buy any new silverware for your home, you'll want to see the famous silver plate of the 1847 Rogers Brothers. It's time for those lovely singing stars, the famous King Sisters.
If you ain't wrong, you're right. If it ain't dark, it's light. If you ain't sure, you might. Gotta be this or that. If it ain't full, it's blank. If you don't spend, you bank. If it ain't green, it's frank. Gotta be this or that. Who can it be if it ain't me? I know it's not your mother. Can't you see it's gotta be one way or another? Tell me what I must know. If you don't like, I'll go. If it ain't yes, it's no. Gotta be this or that. Is it big or small? Is it spring or fall? Is it French or pan? Is it fresh or canned? Gotta know before I go. Gotta be this or that. Is it old or new? Is it me or you? Is it much or few? Ha 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 or boo? You're a square to be so unfair. Gotta be this or that. Who can it be if it ain't me? It's surely not your mother. Can't you see it's got to be one way or another? Tell me what I must know. If you don't like, I'll go. If it ain't yes, it's no. Gotta be this or that. It's day or night. It's black or white. It is loose or tight. Gotta be this or that. Dog or cat. Corny or fisted cat. Lean or fat. Here is that baby. Gotta be this or that.
Now back to Ozzie and Harriet. Well, things are sure in a mess at the Nelson household at 1847 Rogers Road. Ozzie's attempt to fix something has led to complete disaster. Instead of fixing the leak in the pipe, Ozzie has succeeded in breaking it and causing a small-sized flood. As our scene opens, our hero is entering a nearby plumbing shop.
Say, could you come up to our house right away? We got a busted pipe that needs fixing.
Well, I'll tell the boss about it.
Well, what about you? Aren't you a plumber?
Me? No, I ain't no plumber. I'm just a plumber's helper. I ain't allowed to fix nothing. I'm only allowed to watch it being fixed.
Well, look, this is rather urgent.
Okay. Just relax, mister. Give me your name and address. I'll put it on the list. And as soon as the boss can look at it, you'll be taken care of. That's the best I can do.
Well, the name is Nelson, and the address is 1847 Rogers Road. Try and rush it, will you, because it's an emergency.
Okay.
You got that address, haven't you? 1847 Rogers Road.
Okay. Everything is an emergency. The guy's got a little leak, so it's an emergency. Some people don't seem to realize there's a... Hey, wait a minute. The war's over. Hey, boss! Boss! Here's another address for you to stop at. You better hurry. It's an emergency.
Nelson, 1847 Rogers Road. Thanks. I'll go right over.
Yes?
Mr. Nelson?
That's right.
Well, may I come in? You're next on my list.
I'm next on your list?
Yes. Didn't you send for a plumber?
Well, yes, but
Is something the matter?
Well, I just wasn't expecting a lady plumber. Tell me, have you plumbed long?
A few years, and I like it. When I started, I never thought I'd feel this way about plumbing.
I never thought I'd feel this way about a plumber.
Oh, I understand you have a broken pipe in the bathroom.
We have? Yes, of course.
Well, of course. Didn't you call
Pardon
them?
me, boss. I got all the tools here.
Oh, thank you. Just lay them down there, Tyrone. And, Tyrone, would you please find the water shut off?
Okay, boss.
And keep in touch with me.
Okay, boss.
I'm sorry I was so confused, but, well, it's just that most plumbers are men, and you're quite the opposite.
Well, I'm sorry that I've upset you so.
Oh, that's all right, really.
After all, in these times, women drive buses, they work on railroads, they use riveting machines. They do just about everything.
That's right. Who knows, someday a few of them might even learn to cook.
Now, I think I'd really better get to work on that leaky pipe.
Tyrone, calling the boss.
What's that?
Oh, that's our portable communication system. Sort of a walkie-talkie. Saves us a lot of time. Boss to Tyrone. Come in, Tyrone.
I think I found that water shut-off, boss. There's a knob here that looked like the opening to a coal chute. But then I remembered that in California, they... coal chutes here, don't they?
Keep trying, Tyrone.
Is somebody here, Ozzie?
Oh, yes, dear, it's the plumber.
Oh, good. I'd like to put you...
Oh.
Are you the plumber?
That's right. I'm the plumber.
Oh, you must tell me who does your hair. It's adorable.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I had my hair done at the Pierre salon.
That pipe is...
Pierre specializes in lady plumbers. In fact, he calls this the lady plumber hairdo.
Oh, well, it's really beautiful. That big pompadour in the center and the braids on each side. It's so romantic.
Yes. It represents a water boiler surrounded by stovepipes.
Tyrone, calling the boss. Come in.
Yes, Tyrone?
I think I found out where the water shutoff is. I'm down in the basement, and in here they got a sort of a den, you see. And in the corner of the den, they got a small bar, and there's I'll call you back.
Look, I don't mean to be personal, but that perfume you're wearing, is that a Pierre creation, too?
Say, it's quite a leak.
Oh,
and
yes, Pierre didn't feel that those imported perfumes fit my profession. You know, temptation, surrender, follow me.
And he made that special perfume for lady plumbers?
That's right.
What is it called?
Come here before I slug you.
This Pierre sounds original.
Pardon me, that leak in the pipe, it's only covered by rags. And
my goodness, we forgot about the leak.
Oh, dear, say, I wonder what happened to my helper, Tyrone. Calling Tyrone. Tyrone. Tyrone?
Happy New Year!
Where are you, Tyrone?
Would you please inform our hostess that we are running out of ice cubes?
Oh, dear. Something tells me I'll have to fix this without Tyrone.
Well, how you coming along?
Oh, fine, thanks. You know, Mr. Nelson, I'm the kind of plumber that doesn't believe in taking chances. Some plumbers might try fixing this by putting in another washer. Some plumbers might try fixing this by putting in another piece of pipe.
Well, what are you doing?
Installing a new sink.
What a day this has been. Sure is good to get in bed.
You betcha. I never thought when I heard that faucet dripping last night that it would lead to such complete reconversion.
Oh, neither did I.
What a routine. The new wash bowl and the new tub that you had to get to match the wash bowl.
Yeah, I know.
Seems an awful lot to go through just to stop a dripping faucet. Oh, well, let's get some sleep, shall we?
Okay. Oh, good night, dear.
Good night.
Harriet.
Yes, dear?
Do you hear anything?
Not a thing.
Neither do I. Good night.
Ozzie and Harriet of 1847 Rogers Road will be back in just a moment. Meantime...
Oh, Mr. Smith, did you ever hear of that man, Tantalus?
Oh, you mean the character in Greek mythology? The fellow that had all that delicious food put before him, only it was always just out of his reach?
That's the man, and that's the way I feel, too. I've been hearing so much about 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate, how unusual its designs are, how beautiful and rich-looking. It's got so I dream about owning 1847 silver plate, and then I wake up and realize there isn't any to be had. It's very tantalizing, Mr. Smith.
Well, it won't be tantalizing much longer, at least not in the same way. Pretty soon you will be able to buy this lovely silver plate. Then the tantalizing part will be which pattern to choose.
Well, the first love pattern looks very beautiful in the pictures I've seen in the magazines.
The pattern itself is even more beautiful. Notice when you see it how richly raised the ornament is, how deeply etched. That kind of craftsmanship was formerly found only in solid silver. It took 1847 Rogers Brothers to carry it out in silver plate.
I know. I've heard they've done some wonderful things with silver plate.
Be patient a little longer, and you can see what they've done firsthand. 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate will be at your silverware dealer soon. Wait until then. It's well worth waiting for, believe me.
Ozzie. Ozzie!
Yeah, I hear a dripping noise, too. How do you like that? We had a whole new sink put in, and I still hear that dripping noise.
But, Ozzie...
I might have known better than to trust a woman plumber. She puts in a whole new sink, and there goes that dripping noise again.
But, Ozzie...
Please, Harriet, don't try to protect her just because you happen to be a woman, too. I know a drip when I hear one. I'm plenty sore. Can you imagine...
Ozzie, will you please look down at the end of the bed? Your hot water bottle's leaking.
International Silver Company, creators of 1847 Rogers Brothers Silver Plate, invite you to listen again next Sunday to the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, with songs by the King Sisters and music by Ozzie Nelson's orchestra. And don't forget, America's finest silver plate is 1847 Rogers Brothers. This program originates in the Hollywood studios of the Columbia Broadcasting System and is also broadcast over the Trans-Canada Network of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. This adventure of Ozzie and Harriet will be transmitted to our men and women overseas by shortwave and through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Appearing in support of Ozzie and Harriet were B. Benaderet, John Brown, Joel Davis, and Viola Vaughn. Original music was composed by Billy May. Vern Smith speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Thank you for listening to and showing your support for my podcast. If you would like to receive notifications of when new episodes are posted, please subscribe to my channel. Subscriptions are 100% free, and they really help me get an idea of how I'm doing. Well, hope you enjoyed, and until next time, stay safe, wish you well, and as always, peace.